Hi guys, Dorota Palicka, international nail artist and educator here, and as you can see I'm in my work clothes because the weekend have been extremely busy. We have done some bits and pieces inside the building, but I'm gonna keep them for maybe a next week or a week after. And today we are gonna concentrate on this art because that's a really important project for me. Like, I wanted it to be the main focus point, especially that's every client which pops into the salon will see it as a first place. So I'm gonna take you inside and you could join us in that journey. We are gonna start preparing the wood, so draw the picture of the cycle using a string. That's the easiest way, and then using the saw cut it out nice and even, because that will be our skeleton to put the plasterboard later on. This task was pretty challenging as well because we needed to make sure it's all nice and even, but also that we didn't crack the thinnest part because it was just like basically a 1 centimeter. But that's it, all ready. It in a safe place, and then we are just going to use the leftover cut to use it as a template to draw another cycle. Is so much faster than drawing from the string, and then cut it to the pieces as well. Holding the wood steady gives you better protection in case of any breakage. So I always kind of wear the goggles. This is, guys, really important, like, because we actually had a piece of wood jumping into Patrick's eye in some previous DIY projects when we was actually doing some kitchen. So yeah, the protection is really important. In the meantime, I was cutting the plasterboard just to speed up the things because all the projects is really time consuming and we do expect it to take a really long time with the amount of the detail I keep adding into it. Once we have cut the wood, we are going to place some wooden skeleton in there. So we've got something to screw our cut out, and then using the screws we are just going to secure it in place. Once the first part have been attached, we are cutting small pieces, so all they have to be measured and then cut them into smaller pieces to secure them in. So later on, when we have our plasterboard, we are able to use those pieces of the wood to screw our plasterboard in it. It is really important that you do them quite close to each other, just because later on you do want to make sure your plasterboard is gonna lie really nice and flat against that wood, so it will be much easier to get a nice and smooth finished. We have secured the plasterboard to the wood on the other side as well, and then we are going to yeah, absolutely happy with it, and then we are going to do it the same on the other side. The art is coming nice. They will be quite a few challenges, like we'll have to put lots of plaster over it to make things nice, because I want those kind of pillars or columns in there. And we came up with the idea that we are gonna make them the same like we make the arch itself. We will make those ones as well, especially as it's a really expensive actually task, guys. We were searching on internet to buy the arch kits, and they can be as pricey, even one like a 500, 1,500 pound, depending what kind of arch kit you choose. So it's a really, really big expense. And then the pillars itself, we're talking about another like 1,000 pounds. So we thought we will make them out of the plaster boards. Things start already looking pretty nice. So we are very happy with it. I mean, obviously there is still lots of more to do it, so we had to start preparing our plasterboard, the one which is gonna create the actual arch. So in order to do that, we had to cut the plasterboard like about 2 to 3 centimeters apart, and then we could easily break it into rounded shape, because otherwise things would look pretty awkward. So breaking this plasterboard make a really nice arched look. Once we have done that, we could attach it with the screws as well, and that was pretty challenging as well. Marking the plasterboard on the old side will make it easier for you to find those pieces of the wood which you have screwed before, so that's a wee tip. And then once the plasterboard is all nicely done, Patrick is just putting some mesh tape so we can use the filler into those places. And I'm just mixing the mixture, like splashing all over Patrick and everywhere. And then we will just fill up every single hole. We also have some empty spaces on the sides, so we decided to fill that with some plasterboard and then that filler as well. All the mixture is gonna take some time to dry, and then we will have to resand it on the places where there is too much, and on the places where there is enough, we have to add a second layer of that filler to make the things pretty. It had been really busy day, but we kind of really enjoy it as well at the same time, because this is our project number 1. I want the entrance to be absolutely wow. Applying the filler is actually almost like applying the gel. So this is a part which I always quite enjoy it. Obviously, I do not enjoy sanding, which is similar to the nail filing. I find that there is lots of things like in the building trade which are very similar to the nails. Even painting the walls, like I don't like to use the striping tape. Not sure, guys, how you feel about it. Like, but I'm not the fan of it. I kind of rather to push it to the place I want to paint it. But yeah, it is actually really surprising how many things are in common. Drilling, you know, using even the e-file for the detailed work. I have done it many times in the past. So I will be actually quite curious what you have used your new tools for in a DIY or a home improvements, because that's pretty interesting. That's the filler almost done, and we will be able to escape home. Long day, but things starting looking better, and it looks almost like an arch. We need to pop into the shop once they open on Monday, because it's a Sunday obviously today, and buy some bits and pieces, the metal things which corners which we have to like encapsulate it in that filler as well, and then move on into the next step. But I think with the art, because it's such a large project and it is gonna have so much detail in it. It's interesting actually to show you how we have done it. And then next week, hopefully the main base for the arch is gonna be completely done. And probably I will record one more video just when I'm showing you like final stages where we're applying all those molds which we have created, like, and the decor, because I really wanted it nice and fancy. I'm sending you now glittery hacks, and I hope to see you in the next video on a Sunday on how we're getting on in the salon, and on Monday for a nail art as well. Glittery hacks!